Hey everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts, and today I am back with Creating with the Sketches. We're going to be using sketch option 1 page number 5. I pulled out this birthday wish collection and I'm going to be continuing the photos of Eli's birthday. If you remember last month I did the photos from him blowing out his cake from his 10th birthday. These photos are photos that we were able to capture of all of the kids on the bounce house water slide that we ordered or had for his birthday party as well. Like I said in the last video, we definitely went all out for this birthday. I really wanted to document the fun that the kids were having, and I did hire a photographer for this event, and I'm so glad that I did, because when hosting events, it's hard to make sure that you get photos, and I'm sure that I would not have gotten the amount of photos that I did with the kids on the bounce house had I not had a photographer at the party. This sketch again is a 1-page sketch, and I'm going to be using option number 25, which is basically turning it into a double page layout. Now I am going to apologize for my head in this video. I tried to cut out as much as I could, but there's a lot in there. I am still struggling with my camera position. I think that I have finally figured it out. Uploading videos, I am about a month in advance, so trying to figure things out, you guys won't see it for a little while, but stay with me. I promise I'm trying to keep my head out as much as possible. What I'm going to be doing is using this really pretty turquoise color as my background, but I also wanted to mount the photos on them. So I went ahead and put the photos directly on the cardstock, and then I'm using my layering guides to have a border around the photos. Now the sketch basically calls for having 12 photos span across the layout. I'm going to get a total of 13 photos on this layout. There's not a lot of embellishment, but the embellishment that I do add is pretty intense, and I'll get to that in just a second. As I'm putting the rest of the photos down, I do want to encourage you guys to go ahead and check out all the ladies listed below. I'm super excited to see how everyone does this sketch, and I know I say that every single month, but this class is really awesome. It has so many different varieties of options, from the original sketch to all the other things that can be done with that sketch. Every single layout turns out to be so different every single month. It just amazes me. So make sure you check them out below. I pulled out the polka dotted paper from the collection, and that's going to be my main background. Now I do have the cardstock, but you're going to see very little of it, and that's why I wanted to mount my photos on it to bring in that teal even more, because this polka dotted paper spans a majority of the layout. Of course, I'm going to struggle trying to get it down because I have a big hole in my paper, but eventually I do get it down. I think I've said this before, but you can absolutely rub off ATG. So I had an extra strip there, and it was just simple as, running my finger down it to get it off, and it didn't tear the paper or do anything like that. I do use washi tape on the back just to make sure that everything is secure. Then you can kind of start to see the bones of the layout coming together. I'm going to use my T-square ruler to measure where the bottom of that grid is going to go. It's about 1.5 inches from the bottom. I love my T-square ruler, and it's probably one of the cheapest tools that I have. I think I picked it up on Amazon for like $6. It's super cheap. And you guys have probably noticed that I use it a ton. I use it so much. I don't know how I would have any straight things on my layout if I didn't have my T-square ruler. So once I get the right hand side down, I'm going to again use my T-square ruler to make sure that they are lined up properly on both sides. So I have these 12 photos of all of the kids, and then I have this one 3x4 photo of Eli coming down the slide. So he is in one other photo on the layout, but I definitely wanted to have a photo of just him, and a good one of him. A lot of the other photos are lots of water splashing and things like that, so you can't really see the kids' faces, but I wanted to make sure that I had one that was really good of him, and that's going to go on the right hand side of the layout. I also pulled out some border strips to go on the far right hand side. I started out with that red star paper and the stripe paper, but I really wanted to add some glitter to this layout, so I went ahead and looked through my glitter cardstock and found the red glitter, so I had to move out the red stars. I couldn't find another 12 by 12 sheet of paper that I really liked. I went through the 6 by 6 paper pad and I found a sheet of paper that has candles on it. So I just went ahead and cut it down at 1 inch, and then I'm gonna paper piece them together and it'll be covered up by a sticker, so you won't even see that seam. I'm just using the edge of the paper to line up these 3 pattern papers to make sure that they are straight. And the 6 by 6 paper doesn't end up being exactly the same size, so I do end up putting one down at the top, and that's the one that you're gonna see the most because the bottom part does get covered up a lot. But I decided instead of trying to cut it, I'm just gonna line it up on the right-hand side and then just tuck it underneath that striped paper, because it was really like 1/8 of an inch, and it's really hard to cut 1 inch paper that small. Of course, I'm gonna do some paper shaving to make sure that all of the edges are straight. And I've never had an issue with this. They do fit a little bit better in my albums because of all of the layering pieces. This gives it just a little bit more room to move around. I decided the photo on the right-hand side needed to be mounted on white cardstock to make it stand out a little bit more, just simply because the slide is so colorful that it was kind of getting lost with the polka dotted paper and then the striped paper. And I think that the white cardstock makes it stand out a lot. And then I also do go ahead and put it up on fun foam. I'm gonna bring out these stitching templates. The sketch itself calls for flowers or embellishments all down the side. My friend Abby and I are both working through these sketches, and she is starting to figure out if she wants to do a YouTube channel. She has an Instagram post, so I will link that below for you guys. She had the idea of using these templates. For this month, she decided to do a birthday layout as well. She's ahead of me, and so when she shared her layout with me with these stitching templates, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to do that as well, because I had already planned to use a birthday photos for this layout, and I was struggling with trying to decide what was going to put on the left-hand side. And when I saw hers, I was like, yep, that's what I need to do. So I'm definitely crediting her. Go check her out on Instagram. She has her layout posted as well. It is a 1-page layout, and she also used these stitching templates. Now she added the birthday cupcake instead of 2 party hats like I'm going to do. Her layout is fabulous. I am super excited that she did this so that I could scrap lift her, because she is uber talented and I would love for her to get on YouTube. She's been talking about it for quite a while. Her layouts are pretty awesome, and I think some encouragement over on her Instagram might be what she needs to give her that little push to get on YouTube, because I think that her layouts are definitely worth sharing. These templates are pretty simple to use. You just kind of lay them down and poke the holes and then do your best to try to figure out how the holes go. It's definitely not a straight line. Now I completed the stitching off camera, but as you can see here, I have 2 party hats and some balloons over there on the far left, and I think that that is the perfect touch to this layout. I'm going to look through the embellishments and start to pull out a couple of pieces. Really, there's not a whole lot that I'm going to be adding to this layout because that stitching was intense. It took a very long time. Over on the far right-hand side, I do add a sticker that says birthday due. I think that that's a perfect embellishment since there's so many kids on this layout. That really points out who the birthday kid is. Over on the far left-hand side, I'm going to add this sticker that says hip hip hooray, and I am going to add that up on fun foam so that it stands out a little bit against that polka dotted paper. I've used this collection a lot, so I don't have a whole lot of embellishments left. I'm really struggling with trying to figure it out. I find this sticker that says it's your day and go ahead and add that to the far right hand side. Over where the stitching is, I felt like I needed more with that. I know there's a lot of stitching there, but I felt like I needed more. So I started to add these stickers that are little like confetti pieces. And then I found this sticker that says friends on it. I thought it would be cool for that little section over there to say hip hip hooray for friends, since this layout does really focus on all of his friends that attended his birthday party. So I pulled out my Simple Stories Color Vibe books and used some tile stickers to spell out the word for, and then put that up on fun foam and added it to that little section there. I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do for the title, and this collection did come with some alpha stickers. So I spelled out the word splash, and I spelled it correctly. So if you follow my channel, you'll know that that's not an easy word for me. I had to pull up an entire layout for that. And then I found these balloons that say party. So my title's going to be Party Splash, which I know that's kind of a weird title, but it really fits with the layouts and the photos. I do put the balloons up on fun foam, and I feel like that gives it a little bit of lift, almost like they're floating away. Then I pull out my color boxes in orange, green, blue, and red, and really start to fill in that section where the stitching is. My thought process was that the polka dots on the white paper was spilling out onto the background cardstock paper, and I really wanted to kind of fill in all of the different holes. So I found colors that match the polka dots on the white paper and just really randomly putting it all around that area over there with the stitching. The sketch also called for stitching on the right hand side of the layout, which I completely forgot about because honestly, after almost 2 hours of stitching those party hats and balloons, I was done. But then I decided that I did need that stitching on the left. So I have 3 stitches over there. On the polka dotted paper, there's going to be a navy stitch, which is what I'm working on now. And then I forgot to record the other ones, but I'm going to have an orange stitch on the stripe paper and then a white stitch on the colored cardstock. I recently picked up this little tin from Amazon, and it's magnetic. It's really cool. It holds my needles as well as my needle threaders so that I don't lose them, which I was doing quite often. So that is it for this video. Here is my final layout as well as some close-ups. Again, I want to encourage you guys to go check out all the ladies who are playing along with this hop, as well as my friend Abby over on Instagram. I am sure that she would love to see some encouragement from you guys, especially since she was the inspiration for all of that stitching for me. And I really want to get her on YouTube and start creating videos. So go show her some love as well. All right, if you enjoyed this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already and you want to see more double page layout inspiration, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you have a scrappy day.